At this moment, Charlie defeated several bodyguards in succession, without fear. There is also a mess in the courtyard. Wendy and the Lady Wilson ran into the house long ago to take shelter, and all men left in the courtyard. Harold next to him looked extremely annoyed. He didn't expect Charlie to be so good. Seeing Charlie gradually gain the upper hand, Harold gritted his teeth, bent over and picked up an axe, walked quietly over, while Charlie was kicking one of the bodyguards. When he saw the bodyguard, he slammed on head. "Charlie, be careful." Claire screamed when she saw the sharp light of the axe. "D***mn, rubbish the silk, I hack you to death." Harold's new hatred and old hatred rushed into his heart together and slashed fiercely. Jacob was so frightened that his legs became weak and he almost collapsed to the ground. "They want Charlie's life." Axe flashes. When it was said that it was too late, Charlie suddenly raised his hand, and his 2 fingers accurately clamped the axe blade, turning his head coldly to look at Harold. Harold was shocked, trying hard to get the axe back. But Charlie's 2 fingers are like a vice. Even if he uses the strength of the steel axe pinched between the fingers will not move. Harold sweated coldly on his forehead and roared, "Rubbish, let me go." Charlie stared at him and sneered, "Harold, you stupid, you can't cut anyone, I think you are a waste. You watch Harold's murder like this?" Seeing Harold wielding an axe to chop Charlie, Jacob recovered and roared angrily. However, the old Mrs. Wilson sitting on the high hall and Noah Wilson standing on the steps were not moved at all. He didn't even blink his eyelids. The other relatives of the Wilson family also said nothing, as if they had nothing to do with them. And the Lady Wilson only wants the villa at this time. Others, of course, eyeing it too. Sometimes, the older the person, the more greedy. In ancient times, the older the emperor, the more faint, the more arrogant and extravagant, the older and the bigger he was to build palaces and tombs for himself. And the older Mrs. Wilson is, the older she is, the more she hopes she can live better and enjoy it. The Lady Wilson wanted to live in a better place, die in a better place, and be buried in a better place. That indicates that in the next life she will have endless glory and wealth. Therefore, this is why the old people often want to prepare a thick coffin and a gorgeous grave for themselves. Therefore, for Mrs. Wilson, she must grab this $130 million villa. Even if Harold really killed Charlie, as long as he can get the villa, it doesn't matter. Jacob and Claire raised their heads to look at these people, and their hearts were completely cold. This is the so-called blood relative. For money, in order to rob the property, they did not hesitate to set up a situation to take it, and even wanted to kill his family. The eldest brother Noah said unhurriedly, "Second brother, Harold is still a child. He is playing around, why should you take it seriously? Besides, even if he really cut Charlie down, he is not from the Wilson family." Right. In his opinion, anyway, Charlie is a live-in son-in-law who has no power and no influence. Even if Harold chopped him out of his brain, he would lose more money. That would happen to get both people and money. That villa is worth $130 million. And now housing prices are still soaring. If they grab it, let the Lady Wilson live in first, and when the Lady Wilson dies, the villa is estimated to be worth at least $200 million. $200 million. Will they all be their own by then? With so much money, who can resist this temptation? I don't have a big brother like you. Jacob yelled angrily, picked up a mop, and hit Harold fiercely. Noah Wilson frowned, fearing that his son would be beaten, and immediately rushed to stop him. "It's really against you, don't you want a face?" Before he finished speaking, Jacob hit him with a stick. Fortunately, Noah dodged fast and only hit a stick on his shoulder, grinning in pain. Seeing that the father, who is usually honest and easy to deal with, was also so angry, Claire hated the ruthlessness of the Wilson family and worried about Charlie's safety. At this moment, Charlie held the axe blade, looked at Harold, with a hint of ridicule on his face, and whispered, "Harold, I tell you the truth, in fact, in my eyes, you are a waste of money." Not on spot. Charlie, F***ck your mother. An anger rushed to Harold's forehead. "You are a waste of money, how dare you speak to me like this?" Before he finished speaking, Charlie grabbed his wrist directly and broke it back. Hearing the crisp sound of pop, Harold burst out a heart-piercing scream. The palm of his right hand was actually broken back by Charlie 180 degrees, breaking it abruptly. Harold howled loudly and slumped on the ground with tears.